Well, if you've been watching our RV remodel series, you know that we finished our remodel in February of 2024. Well, it was then in July on the 12th that I finally retired. And on the 14th, we started our full-time RV journey with a sentimental journey, or so we thought.
Hi, I'm Dwight.
And I'm Connie.
And together we're Beck's Backroads. We travel the back roads and trails to find the unique, the beautiful, and the sights that not everyone gets to see.
Come join us on our next Backroads adventure.
Well, the first thing we had to do was move into the RV. And although Connie's got a big smile on her face, she was really quite tired at that time. It was really harder than you think. I mean, after all, where was all that stuff going to go? I think if I had to do it all over again, I would have put a little bit more time from the time we retired to the time we were leaving. But at last, after 2 years of prepping for it, we were finally getting on the road. Our first stop along our sentimental journey would lead us north, right through the heart of LA, and into a steep grade that we in Southern California call the Grapevine. I noticed along the way that our RV was running a little warm, and that was a little bit unusual for the RV. And we were heading to a place called North Tool Campground. Now, this is a COE campground just east of Porterville, California. You're probably wondering, well, where's Porterville? Well, it's just east of Bakersfield, if you know where that is. But why there? Well, I'll let these two extremely tired and overheated travelers tell you why this was their sentimental journey. We're standing in front of a very special body of water.
And where are we, Dwight?
This is Success Lake, just outside of Porterville, California.
And why are we here?
Well, this is a special place that we met 48 years ago on a water ski trip.
We were 17 and 18.
And we saw each other, and the rest is history.
Or so they say.
Or so they say. That's correct. A lot of history.
And now here we are in a second season, or I don't know, a second season of RVlife, I guess.
A second start, a second new journey, let's say.
A second new journey, more adventures, fun adventures.
So we thought we'd come back and start our second journey the same place we started our first. And what is that journey?
We now have an RV that we renovated for a whole year together, and we still like each other. How about that? And we have a Jeep, and so we're going to go see the Backroads of America, see family, friends, do some service work. I don't know, wherever God leads us, right?
That's right. Whatever's in front of us, we're willing to do and we're willing to see. So who knows where our roads will take us. But for now, we're here on our first day of full-time RV living. Well, if any of you know Connie and seen some of her social media posts, you know she's always up for a good sunset. But that July heat really started to get to us. So we headed for the RV and some good air conditioning. But on the way back, we noticed that our RV had a puddle of water in the back of it. And I was hoping that it was just the AC, but the drip sure looked like it was coming from the radiator. I've got a feeling our sentimental journey was about to take a sharp turn. Well, next morning, the radiator was completely empty, so we had to make a decision what we were going to do. And Visalia, California, was the next biggest city. So we filled the radiator with water and started to make our trek there. And along the way, I started to make some calls and found out some place that I could take the RV to get it checked out. So we found the shop, and after dropping it off, they told it would take us a couple of days to check it out. So we decided to make the best of it and just see Visalia, California, and drive around and see what's in that town and see if we could find some fun spots to check out.
Hi. This is Connie, day 3 of our retirement adventure. Sitting here by a pool in beautiful Visalia because we have a radiator problem with the RV. So we're waiting to see what that will entail, how long it will take to get it fixed. But anyway, that's the life right now. And we're going to take it easy today. We've had a crazy last week moving. And so we're just going to kind of take it easy and adjust, but just getting used to the freedom to do what you want each day. So that's the day today. Started off really good.
Well, later that day, Connie and I were having lunch. And Connie got a phone call, and I couldn't hear anything, so I was just watching her listen to it. And boy, her face sure changed. It did not look good and probably said a lot more than what I thought it was. Well, we got the number of what it was going to cost to get the radiator fixed. And boy, that was a huge number. In addition, it was going to take 3 weeks just to get the radiator and maybe another week or 2 to get it fixed. Oh man, what were we going to do? I mean, our stomachs kind of hit the floor at that particular point. Well, our sentimental journey at that point kind of turned into a nightmare, but we had to figure it out. So I got on the phone and started to call a couple mechanics that I knew in Southern California, mechanics that had worked on my rig before. Both of them said about the same thing, that the price that we got was about $5,000 too high. So we had to make a decision, and we decided to take the RV back to Southern California. So that's what we did. We decided to pick the RV back up and got it ready to make that trip back to Southern California to one of the mechanics that we knew and really trusted in Palm Desert, California.
Good morning. It's Thursday, July 18th. We are on the road early, 6 a.m., trying to beat the heat because after one night of camping, we have a radiator leak. We took it to a local mechanic. After 2 days of assessing what they thought was wrong, they decided we needed a new radiator. And the estimate was ridiculously high. So we called our mechanics who worked on the RV before, and they told us the same thing. They also told us that it would take 3 weeks minimum. And so with RVs, you know that the estimate that they give you is not true. It'll take longer. So since we were only about 270 miles from where we started, we decided to take our rig back to Southern California to a mechanic that we worked with before, and he's willing to look at other options to help us to fix this. So that's what's happening today. So a little detour of our planned 3-month trip here has already been detoured on day 2. We get to go back and see our kids a little bit more and our grandkids, and so it's not all bad. We're just taking it. We know that God's in it, and that he hasn't brought us this far to turn us back home with a broken RV for that long. So we need to look at what we have scheduled ahead and reschedule some of that as well. And we're going to stop every couple hours and check the water and put more water in the radiator because it is leaking out. But the coach is not overheating, so that's the good news.
Well, our mechanic finally got the radiator, and he got it installed. And so we were getting ready at that point to get back on the road. And all in all, it did take about 5 weeks for it all to take place. Well, as part of Connie and my walk of faith, we believe that God has all things in control. And this just wasn't a random mechanical failure. But what we didn't know, this was actually going to be an answer to prayer. Well, there was a great radio commentator named Paul Harvey years ago, and he had these great stories. And after telling a portion of it, he always had this line, and this is appropriate for us too. And now, the rest of the story. Our middle child, Dallas, just happened to be finishing a vacation in San Diego in his fifth wheel. And after that, he and his family were going to head up to Carlsbad, California to spend a month vacationing in a family house. Well, they had room for 2 weeks to set their fifth wheel up so that Connie and I could live in it. So we had the first 2 weeks covered. Then after that, my daughter Danielle was heading to Nashville for a baseball tournament that her son Mason was going to play in. So we decided to head to their house and babysit the grand puppy, Princess Sophie. And we also, at that time, we were able to do a little work on their house and help them out. Connie did some gardening. I did some landscape work, and we helped paint portion of their gazebo. And I hung up a kind of a training apparatus for Mason and Danielle. So all in all, we had another week covered then. Then we decided to stay in a hotel for a couple of days. Well, our really, really good friends Scott and Lori heard that we were in a hotel and thought that was just dumb spending money. So they invited us to come to Arizona and spend some time with them for however long it takes. You know what? Little did they know how long it was actually going to take. It took about another 2 weeks. So, but the best part of that is Scott and I won game night. So our housing was all taken care of for those 5 weeks. But there truly is a rest of the story of how God used this in our family. Well, for several years, there was some tension between our children. And for several years, Connie and I had been praying for our family to be restored and reunited. Well, through the course of this and those 5 weeks, God used that time to bring our family back together. It started with a family dinner. It even included a couple of soccer games for the kids that we went to. And from there, we started to see some healing taking place. Eventually, the bonds of hurt, of whatever it was, were totally broken down, and our family was once again a family again. Connie and I could not have been more blessed. Well, and now you know the rest of the story. Thanks for joining us this week. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you consider subscribing if you haven't already and ring that bell to get notified. And also, if you want, leave us a comment and let us know if the story meant something to you or if you had something like this in your life. Well, it's been a good time. Next week, we're going to be talking about getting back on the road. And hopefully we won't have any more surprises as our RV journey continues. Well, on the date that I'm filming this, it's Connie's and my 48th wedding anniversary. And it's been a wild ride, and it's probably not over yet. Happy anniversary, Connie. Love you, and can't wait for some more adventures together. Thanks for watching.